there's nothing like talking about porn and porn use sitting in public, but fuck it, let's begin. So I remember the first time I ever come across porn. I was walking down the road and I found just a magazine by the side of the road, and being 7 years old and inquisitive, I picked it up and shoved it down my trousers and took it home. And that is where, I guess you could say, the love for porn began. And I remember looking at it in my bedroom and just feeling these feelings that at the time I didn't understand, but obviously now as a man I do understand them. And I loved it. I kept looking at it, and whilst I wasn't, masturbating or anything like that, I just remember getting that sensation downstairs and thinking, I can't get enough of this. And flash forward to 2001, and my family got its first computer, and obviously this was back before mobile phones and things like that. And so it was in the front room. No, sorry, it was in the dining room. And and I remember being 11 years old and rushing home from school, closing the curtains, locking the door, and basically going on porn. And obviously back then it was dial-up internet, so there wasn't really videos that I could watch. It was just all pictures. But I just remember being absolutely fascinated by it. I loved it and I couldn't get enough of it. And that's where the problem started, because after that, when we got a high-speed internet and got rid of the dial-up, it just become a fascination and a love. And probably from the age of 12 till pretty much a year ago, it was every day, it was constant. I just couldn't get enough of it. And I never really questioned it. I just thought, well, it's normal, everyone's doing it. I'm a man. And I never really questioned it. I never really thought too much about it. But it was only maybe a year ago where I suddenly realised that when I didn't do it, it was affecting my moods and it was affecting my general overall well-being. I felt depressed when I hadn't done it. It was almost like a compulsion to do it. And so that's when I really started thinking about it and thinking this might be a problem. And the thing is, if you talk to people, if you talk to the lads, everyone's like, it's normal. And to be honest, I wouldn't talk to my friends about it. I wouldn't ever say, I've got a porn addiction, because I didn't view it as an addiction. But it was only when I decided to, maybe abstain from doing it, that I really realised how, I guess, physically and mentally addicted I'd become to it. And that's when I realised that I wasn't using it because I was horny. I was using it. It was a compulsion, and I would feel after I'd watched porn and I'd done my business, I'd feel this like surge of what I now understand to be dopamine, and I felt good. It's like a drug. It's like any drug. You use it, you feel good for like a period of time. But then I really started realising that it was having to be used more and more in order to keep that kind of that high mood, that dopamine level, to keep it up for longer. And that's when I thought, I've got to stop this, because it's probably having a negative effect on my mental health. And I remember being in relationships where I would rather watch porn than have sex. That's crazy looking back on it, because I'm single now and I think, what was I doing? But so it had negative effects on I guess the partners I'd been with, because I'd come home from work, and before I'd even got my work clothes off, I'd got the laptop out or my phone and I was watching porn. And then when my poor partners come home and wanted some action, I didn't have it in me. I couldn't be bothered because I'd already taken care of myself. So that's when I realised porn for me was a problem, and that's when I decided to stop, or try to stop, because I don't believe progress is linear. I think you've got to start by wanting to make a change, and it might be easy, it might be hard, you might have kind of relapses, but currently I'm at 2 months and I've stopped counting now. But one of the things I will say was, once you get over that kind of 7-day hurdle, it does become easier. And I've found that I've got more energy, I can just, I don't know, it's weird, I can maintain eye contact with people for much longer. I don't know if that's like an internal shame or guilt from the porn use, but I find myself having a lot more meaningful conversations with men and women, you know, not bisexual by the way, just putting it out there. But yeah, so I've got more energy and I've got a genuine satisfaction with just everyday life that I didn't have before, because I honestly believe it just zaps your motivation, it zaps your lust for life. And yeah, so I just wanted to share that with you. Hope it resonates with people. I plan to do more videos on this. This is just a bit of an off the cuff one, but if people resonate with it and they want to hear more, I'm up for doing more. Obviously, hopefully future videos, the production quality will be better. I'm just sitting on a bench in public talking about porn use, which I didn't think I'd be doing. But yeah, I can highly recommend giving it a break, because by the 2-month mark, I just found myself happier. My self-esteem is higher, and yeah, so it's definitely something I'm going to continue. But if you're in a relationship, I'm just going to add one last thing. If you're in a relationship, how can you, I guess, be happy with what you've got when you're constantly looking at 10 out of 10s all the time, lusting over other women? It's going to affect your sex life. And realistically, now I've stopped, I'm having the real urge for human contact again. I'm getting excited about little things, like I'm seeing a girl in a long dress and I'm getting turned on by it, and that's good, that's natural, rather than having to see like women in skimpy underwear doing all kinds of crazy things just to get aroused. So yeah, that's my thoughts on porn. Definitely going to do more videos. If it resonates with you, please subscribe. And if you're on the journey of wanting to quit porn, I've got you. Comment in the comment section, and stay strong, kings. You got this.